Today, I want to share with you the hidden story behind the portrait painted by Renoir. The young girl in this painting is Irène Cahen, also known as the little girl with the blue ribbon. Her life was filled with sorrow. She lost everything. Her fate was marked with tragedy. She lost her children. She lost her grandchildren, her husband, and her sister. Today, we will dive into who was Irène Cahen. Why is this painting so significant? And what dark chapters did it endure over time? Irène Cahen was born into one of the wealthiest Jewish families in the 19th century France, the Cahen. They were part of the Parisian social elite, their immense fortune built on banking. They hosted salons frequented by writers, artists, and intellectuals. This was like the Prussian Parisian world, and Marcel Proust himself was a frequent guest in their home. In his novel In Search of Lost Time, one of his main characters, Charles Swann, was inspired by Jewish collectors like Charlie Fuzzi. Charlie Fuzzi was an art historian and the lover of Louise Cahen, the mother of Irène. He commissioned to paint the 6-year-old, so without him the painting would not even exist. At 19, Irène entered an arranged marriage with Moshe de Camondo, a wealthy banker from a Sephardic Jewish family originally from Constantinople. People often refer to them as the Rothschild of the East. The commander had established themselves in Paris. Moshe was 31, and while the union represented a merger of two prominent Jewish families, culture differences quickly emerged. The Cahen, they were largely secular, while the Camondo, they adhered to Jewish practices. Irène and Moshe, they had two children, Nissim and Béatrice. But the marriage from Irène and Moshe was far from happy. Irène's love for the Parisian lifestyle clashed with Moshe's traditional values. She fell in love with the Count Charles Saint-Pierre. She left her family, she converted to Catholicism, and she had a third child called Claude with the nickname Pussy. Irène's eldest son, Nissim de Camondo, he joined the French military during the World War I. He died tragically in combat. Devastating his father, Moshe de Camondo, he sought to recover the last remains from Nissim to give him a Jewish proper burial. In Nissim's memory, Moshe decided to honor his son by transforming his grand home family legacy into a museum. He bequeathed it to Les Arts Décoratifs, and today it is known as the Musée Nissim de Camondo. It is located in Paris and near Parc Monceau. Béatrice, Irène's and Moshe's second child, she married Léon Reiner, another prominent Jewish member in the French society. The Reiners, they were prominent for their wealth and for their intellectual contributions to the French society. But the marriage was, like her parents, arranged. While Léon Reiner aspired to become a composer, Béatrice, she was a passionate equestrian. When the Nazis invaded Paris, the Cahen and many other Jewish prominent families, they faced devastating losses. Jewish-owned art was seized and Louvre's treasures were relocated to another place for protection. Renoir's portrait, Irène Cahen, was in Beatrice's possession at her home in Neuilly. To protect this painting, her husband Leon Reiner gave it over for protection, and it was located in Chateau de Chambord, where many other artworks were hidden during the war. It was confiscated by the Einsatzleiter Rosenberg in Chambord in the chateau. It was turned over to Hermann Göring and traded by Göring for a Florentine tonder to Gustav Rochlitz. However, Beatrice, like her mother, she converted to Catholicism, believing that God and the Virgin would protect her, but it did not. Her faith did not shield her family. Beatrice and her ex-husband and her 2 children, they were arrested, deported, and murdered in Auschwitz. After the war, the painting was returned to Irène Cahen. But in a controversial decision, she sold it to Emil Berli, a Nazi collaborator and an arms dealer. He amassed a wealth of Jewish artworks, including from Paul Rosenberg. But what became of Irène herself? Yes, she regained the possession of her childhood's portrait. She sold it, but she lost everything. She lost her children. She lost her grandchildren. Her sister, she died also in Auschwitz. And her husband, Morrison. She lived till 91 in Paris, and she had many servants. And one of them told that she was always speaking about Nissim, her first child, how heroic he was. But she never mentioned about Beatrice, her second child. Everything that Beatrice longed for was being near with her mother. This was why she wanted to have this possession. The entire dynasty was wiped out. So if you go to Paris, please visit the Musée Nissim de Camondo. This is one of the go-to places when I will visit Paris. Today, the painting is located in Zurich, in Swiss, as part of the Emil Berli collection. The painting, which depicts her as an innocent child, became a silent witness to her turbulent life.